Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2, and today I'm going to be giving you a brand new series. What if Naruto Sharingan and Byakugan fuse into a new bloodline part 1? If you enjoy seeing 1C part 2 guys, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and tell me 1C part 2, and I'll be posting it as soon as possible for you guys to enjoy. And also guys, go ahead and check out the other what ifs on Anime King 3 of What If Naruto was the greatest experimenter. And on this channel I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto got a new tail beast from the Shinigami, so go ahead, check out that and enjoy guys. And also over Anime King I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto awaken his true potential, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy. And yeah, without further ado, and wasting any more time, what do you say we just leap right into this new episode? Don't forget to turn on that bell notification because I post what if every day on my 3 channels. So yeah, without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this? Start the intro. Walking towards the clan district around Konoha, a young teen around 12 years old was going to go pick up 2 of his closest family. He was wearing a black mesh shirt and a dark blue jacket that was loose, that had 3 light black bars on the front and the Uchiha fan on the back. Even though it was autumn, he wasn't particularly cold, but it was the marks on his arms that he used his jacket to hide. These ones did not heal, unlike the other ones. On his lower body he was wearing a white pants with an orange sash tied around his waist. The most noteworthy thing about him was his skin. It was extremely pale, almost ghostly white, so white that it would be considered a rather unhealthy tan. His eyes were just as noticeable, as he had 2 violet, narrowed eyes with dilated iris. Another highly visible feature about him was his fangs that was visible due to their accelerated growth. As his status as a Jinchuriki, he wasn't tall, but he wasn't that small for his age. He was 4'11", but still, he was the shortest in his academy class. But no one really picked on him for it or said anything about it, because the last one that did was sent to the infirmary. While he walked down the street, villagers muttered things like demon brat, sneak bastard, and other colorful things around those lines. But to be truthful, he didn't care what they say. He knew the reason why they glare and curse, his very existence. He knew about it all too well because he learned about it on his father's and Fugaku's scrolls. After the massacre of one of his living clans, he needed something to attempt to do to keep him from breaking completely. And also the other clan that he was a part of didn't want him to lose hope and become what the villagers were calling him. Even then, he was not going to take their hatred lying down. It would be a disgrace to do so, as he wasn't Uchiha Hyuga Naruto for a reason. As he smirked, he then brought both of his hands up and flipped all of them off, giving them the double bird. They cursed even more, saying that he should kill it now before it decided to kill them. Of course, this made him roll his eyes because they wouldn't do anything so close to the clan complex. Even if they did, he needs some stress relief, and they would provide good entertainment for him to release that stress. Tuh. I would kill you bastards, but the old man always have an envoy to watch me, said Naruto, to make sure they don't attack me or vice versa. I wonder who it is today, he thought to himself. It can't be Weasel, due to him killing everyone but Sasuke and myself, from father's clan off. That bastard, if I get my hands on him, I'll pluck his eyes out from his skull. It can't be Inu either because he retired from Anvu. Tiger is an Anvu captain. He has too many important things to do than just watch me all day. Falcon is on an assassination mission. He better tell me how it went when he get back, otherwise I'll kick him right in the nads. So who does that leave? Oh, Nico, he said. So Yuji, you're watching me today. Interesting, she smelled different from the last time. I ran into her. I wonder why. as he used his nose to look towards the area where the scent was coming from. From the said building, Yuji's eyes widened in surprise, even though no one could see because of her mask. Damn, he's getting good at detecting me and the others. I wonder who his sensei will be, she said as she watched him walk into the clan compound. Probably Kakashi. Oh shit, yeah. He's taking a team this year. Please, don't let them be on the same team. One psychopath prankster is enough. Put him on a team with someone like him. Hell no, she said to herself. Meanwhile, Naruto stepped in front of the complex. He saw that Neji and Hinata were waiting for him. As Naruto bowed his head to Hinata, it wasn't because he was a branch member, as he was considered a main member by Hayashi. Even if they wanted to, they couldn't do that because Naruto was a part of the Uchiha clan as well. Ready to go, Hinata-sama, Neji, he said. Hinata smiled lightly at Naruto before she bowed her head, as he was her cousin and technically higher up in the clan. Morning, Naruto-kun, she said. Neji nodded towards him. It was his custom greeting as the three of them headed off towards the academy. On the inside, Hayashi watched as they left off. He deactivated his Byakugan as he got up. He walked as he saw his youngest daughter. He paused when he saw her, holding an orange book, with a confused blush on her face. His eyes widened in shock as he moved so fast. He would give the yellow flash a run for his money as he took the book away. He hid the book so quickly that it seemed like it just vanished. Hanabi, where did you get that book from? He said. Her face still looked shocked and confused from the print and pictures inside the book. She answered with one simple name. Naruto-san, she said. At that moment, Hayashi refrained from rushing outside and catching the child and using the Jayugen strikes on him. Damn it, Naruto. If you weren't my favorite cousin's son, I would kill you for this. Now I have to explain to her what exactly she read. Damn you! Damn you to hell and back, Hayashi thought, while his face remained calm. But he tried to, but there was some flickering emotion. But Hanabi tilted her head. Father, what does sex mean? She asked. The man's eyes started to twitch violently. He would have to have one of the branch female members explain to her gently, with not too much details. Meanwhile, as the three Hyugas neared the academy, Naruto looked rather pleased as the last scent that he got from the compound was Hayashi, shocked and embarrassed, as he looked rather pleased with himself as Neji handed him a scroll. Naruto-san, Hayashi-sama told me to give this to you. As Naruto took the scroll, but Neji noticed a gleam in his eyes after he did a prank well done. But Naruto was also confused as he looked towards the scroll. All he said was that it was a letter written by your mother, and he deemed you to read it. Ready, as of today. Naruto nodded as he put away the scroll, as he wanted to concentrate at the task at hand, the genuine exams. He was confident he would pass, but the fact that one of his former teachers, Mizuki, disliked him and tried to make him fail. Of course it did not work because on numerous occasions the man was caught in the act by Neji, Hinata, and Sasuke, as Naruto reported to Iruka, who decided to see if it was true, and Mizuki was placed on probation, as there wasn't much that he could do again, even though he was a teacher for the school. But he was still there. But he did not mess with Naruto, that was for sure. As they arrived towards a classroom, they were intercepted by a blonde and a pink-haired girl, as Naruto saw this as a perfect opportunity to strike back at his cousin Fangirl and one of his own. Hey, I thought I told you two to stop making up before class, unless you have someone taping it. And I would love to get a copy of that tape, for personal reasons, he said. It had the effect that you wanted as Ino blushed. At the thought of Naruto watching her do something like that, Sakura also blushed slightly as well, before her face switched into pure anger. But the classroom started to laugh their asses off. That was the big effect that you wanted. Hell, even Shino chuckled at it, scaring the hell out of Kiba, because it wasn't usual that you heard someone like Shino laugh. As everyone laughed, a tick mark started to grow larger and larger on Sakura's head. As she stormed over to Naruto, Naruto backed as she punched him across the face. Whenever she got angry, she got some freaky strength, as Naruto was thrown as he collided with the wall, only for him to poof away. Most of the academy kids looked around as they were confused by that technique. There was only a handful that saw that technique before. Some of the more elite clan children. Hinata nearly jumped when she felt something crawling on her shoulder. But she then noticed that it was a black snake, and she knew that Naruto had a habit of transforming into snakes. though it gave her goosebumps every time he used her as a purge. It was kind of soothing, and the best things about Shadow Clone, you never know if it's me or not, as it slowly slipped off her, giving her more goosebumps, as it poofed into Naruto. After a few minutes, he made his way towards Sasuke and sat down beside him, who just came back from snickering a bit, but he didn't laugh out loud like the rest of the class, just a calm, cool snicker. "That was a good one, Naruto," he said. "I give it a 8.4. Oh, come on. I believe I deserve at least a 9. Damn, next time, I'm gonna have to use some sort of gimmick," said Naruto, as Sasuke simply snickered at his expense, as Naruto was about to smack him, until a massive amount of pathetic, killer intent was directed towards Naruto. All of Sasuke fangirls were glaring at him. "Get out of the seat, Naruto Baka. I'm sitting next to Sasuke-kun." "The hell you are. Get away from me, you psychopaths. Go find someone else to stalk and pound on," said Naruto, as Naruto released some of his killer intent that made them all back away from him. That was just too frightening. There was a poof. "Alright, you maggots, sit down. And shut up. Since Iruka is sick today, I'll be the one that is taking over the Genin exam." When Naruto heard that voice, he slowly turned, as he started to sweat bullets. "Oh shit, it's Ibiki. Run for your lives," he said as he looked towards the window and ran. But a kunai pinned right through his jacket and pinned him to the wall, as Ibiki appeared in front of him, as he had this smile on his face that wasn't usually there, and it just made him look scary as hell. "No running off doing the tests. I'll get you back some other time for what you did yesterday, Naruto," he said, as Naruto swallowed thickly. Flashback. Ibiki had just come back home after torturing a spy that they found that was connected to Orochimaru. Ibiki grumbled at his misfortune as he walked to the kitchen. Damn it, he had no decent information on him that we don't have already. Well, at least that is one spy that was rooted out. As he opened his fridge and grabbed the milk carton as he turned to open the cabinet, his eyes widened as an army of moths flew right in his face. Ibiki would not scream though, he was ahead of interrogation and torture. What would that set? It would set a bad precedent for him to scream out, as he fell to the ground in surprise, as there was a massive tarantula on the ground. There was a thing about Ibiki, despite how scary he might look. He don't like insects. Well, to be exact, he feared them. He feared spiders even higher on his phobia list. And this time he couldn't hold back. He jumped up and screamed like a pansy. And just like any 10-year-old girl would do, he rushed towards the bathroom. But his feet got tangled up in something as he noticed it was tripwire. As something fell, he brought up his arms. The thing drenched him. It was pink paint. It was then that he noticed a small painting in front of him, with that brat sticking out his tongue at him. He screamed to the heavens, Naruto. End the flashback. "Yeah, I'll get to you back later, and you will never know," Ibiki said. This time Naruto had one-up him in their little pranking game, and Ibiki was gonna get him back. Oh yes he was, as he rubbed his hand together evilly, radiating killer intent, causing Akamaru to piss himself. "Damn it, Akamaru," said Kiba. "You can't do that on my head." As that broke the fear, everyone started to laugh their asses off at Kiba. Ibiki spoke up in an amused tone. "Go to the restroom and wash off," he said, as Kiba rushed out of the room. As Ibiki thought to himself, first he was going to give the test that Iruka left, but that was crap and that would not tell him if they were ready to be shinobis. But unfortunately though, the real test was going to be the Jonins that they were assigned to, so he couldn't really do much, although he could spice the test up a bit, as he handed out the papers for the tests. He smirked as he thought how to make this more fun. Well, fun for him. Time skip. After half an hour of torture, the paper test was finally done. While he was ashamed of using someone else's tactics, that being Anko, throwing random kunais, but, well, all those kunais were aimed towards Naruto. Not to kill him, but just to make him know that he was watching him. Looking towards the list that Iruka left, he looked over it. Damn it, he said. If he didn't do it by the books, things would not work out well. Damn it. I'm remembering why I hate standardized tests. Alright class, I'll call you up one after another for your physical and standard ninjutsu tests. If you don't wish to do them, leave. I have no problem with that. Just one less person to worry about. Shikamaru thought about leaving right then and there. But even if he was lazy, his dream was to become an average shinobi with an average family and just be that, average. No big wars, no extra exam, nothing more. Just average, right on that level. Troublesome as he placed his head back down on decks. Alright, Aberme Shino, you're up first. As Naruto saw that everyone was too focused as he yawned, he reached into his pouch and pulled out a CD player. As he placed on the headphones and started to listen, as he watched as student after student start to come in and go out. Uchiha Ayuga Naruto! Naruto's eyes snapped open hearing his name. As he noticed everyone was wearing headbands, he turned the CD player off as he placed it away. About damn time, he said. What the hell was going on in there anyway? You know what? I don't want to know. I'll probably be traumatized for life if I do. Ibiki's eye twitched violently as he watched Naruto walk, as he thought of a way to torture the brat. Alright, as much as I want to fail you for your prank last night, I can't. But if I could, I would have you fail so badly that you will be put back with the 8 and 9-year-olds. Lucky for you I can't. So let's begin with the physical exam, shall we? You will fight a clone of mine here, and I will grade you on your fluidity and damage. As Ibiki created a clone, Naruto slid into a stance that was a cross between both of his clans. As Naruto moved to attack the man, Ibiki blocked his attacks. The man was indeed a special Jonin, as Naruto started to rely more on the Chayugin stance. After a moment, Ibiki called time. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'll give you a 8.7. That means as of now you are third in the physical exam. Next is the ninjutsu, so make 3 clones and a hench. Also, like I asked for everyone, if you can perform one jutsu that is not taught in academy, I'll give you extra credit. Naruto was surprised at the simplicity of the test. He actually thought it was going to be harder, and they even give extra credit? That's it? I thought this was going to be a challenge, not a walk through a park. You know what? Never mind. As he brought his hand around seal and channeled his chakra. Clone jutsu, he said as he created 7 copies. All of them passed the minimum requirement. The next jutsu, transform, as Naruto turned into a blonde, pale skin, naked female, as she was showing off her extra assets. As Ibiki's nose started to bleed. Before things got out of hand, he gripped the headband and threw it, hoping that he would knock the brat out or either cancel the transformation. As Naruto returned back to normal and caught the headband. I guess that means I pass, and I don't have to perform any extra jutsu for credit. Well then, Ibiki, I hope I never see you again unless it's job related. After all, wouldn't want you to get me back now, said Naruto. As Naruto tied his headband and left. Ino Yamanaka. As Ino passed, as she winked at both Naruto and Sasuke. She was one of the few that was in both of their fan clubs. She was a nightmare. The girl was able to sneak in their house and steal a lock of their hair. What she did with them, the both of them didn't want to know. After a moment, she returned with her headband. She was now a ninja, showing off the 2 of them. Alright, turds, be back here tomorrow at the normal time. The dolphin that can't seem to become a Jonin will be here to tell you what team you're a part of. And yes, you'll be put on teams, so don't bitch about it. Come, Ibiki thought. Help the poor souls that will be placed on Team Guy. And Aruka as well. The amount of paperwork he has to return to for skipping today's class, the train, for his 7 Jonin exam. Time skip. Making his way towards the Haiga compound, Naruto sighed deeply. While the glares would lessen with Sasuke or Hinata around, they were still there, and they were becoming so annoying. As he turned his head, so Neji, Hinata-sama, where do you think you place the axe? As Neji thought about it, I believe I got second unless Sasuke tripped up in the exams, which is unlikely. If not, he has the Rookie of the Year, without a doubt. I still wish Hachibi-sama would have let me go a year before, so I would have got the title. Hinata sighed and Naruto questioned, knowing that Neji was going to be in a rather bitchy mood for the next couple of days, as she thought about where she might be placed, knowing that her father wouldn't be happy if she was placed down below. I probably finished in the middle, she said. How about you, Naruto-kun, she said. Where do you think you place? As Hinata noticed the glare that he was getting from some of the clan members. As Hinata was trying to get his mind off that, he noticed that she noticed as well. I probably finished below Neji. Shino could have beaten me, but no one else come close. But truthfully, it doesn't mean a damn thing, said Naruto. And what does that mean, asked Neji. Think about it for a moment, Neji. Both Sasuke and I are even in practical skill. I might be a bit better in ninjutsu than him, but he's better in taijutsu than I am. But the test also put into account book smarts, which are equal to the physical and ninjutsu part of the exam. So therefore Sasuke can be placed higher, because of the book part. And I know that you dislike studying from book as well, Neji, said Naruto. Neji could only nod in agreement as Naruto continued. But this is where it gets even worse. The one that have all book smarts can at least get a 20 on the physical and ninjutsu part, and they can pass and become a shinobi. So take example Sakura. She's probably the smartest in her class if Shikamaru decide not to be a lazy bastard. So you can be sure that she aced written portion of her tests. Now out in the field there are times that you can't use Kaijutsu, Ninjutsu or Genjutsu. Sometimes 2 out of the 3. If this was the case, Neji, you would wipe the floor with me and Sasuke. But if it happened to be Ninjutsu, we would destroy you. Therefore the test is useless because it doesn't properly rank us. As he finished, both Neji and Hinata understood the points that Naruto gave them, as they saw the compound in the distance as they arrived. Naruto must have given that speech to pick them up after that exam. Well, I'll see you guys tomorrow, said Naruto. As Neji knew why Naruto wanted to get home, the scroll that he gave him was one of importance. Yeah, see you later, Naruto. Bye, Naruto-kun, said Hinata. She knew that she shouldn't call him that, but she couldn't help it. She just enjoyed pissing him off that way. As he gave her a small glare and put on his headphones and walked off. I saw it, said Neji. He's becoming more and more affected by the village. Yes, I noticed as well, Hinata said. It just made me so mad that even our own village and some of the lesser clans are responsible for this. Not in agreement, Neji knew all too well that it was true, but something else was bugging him. Honestly, if he was already in Naruto's shoes, he would have gone ballistic or he would have left. And each and every day they seemed to give him another reason to do so. As Neji asked in a light tone, would you join him if he leave? He could see that she had a lot to think about before answering that question. You don't have to answer now, just think. When you're ready you can give me an answer, he said. As Neji walked off. He didn't know about her, but if Naruto could discover the unsealing process of the cage bird seal that he's researching into, Neji would leave in a heartbeat. Time skip as Naruto walked into the Uchiha Manor. As he saw Sasuke going over a scroll, Sasuke asked him to live there after the Uchiha massacre, as he didn't want to be there alone. As Naruto sat on his bed when he heard Sasuke scream. This was not a normal scream. Shit. A fangirl raid. As Naruto rushed down to see Sasuke holding him at the door, with the fangirls outside trying to break in. Naruto, Sasuke said, use that shadow clone thing of yours and transform them. The door is about to break. As Naruto performed a real solid clone, he created 20 of them as they transformed to Sasuke. As the clones leaped through the windows and made their way in different directions. After a moment, the banging on the door ceased. Man, this is starting to get ridiculous. If it was villagers breaking in to hurt me, I could handle that. But girls, I think that we're so hot to break the doors down and ogle us. That's total bullcrap. I'm going to the old man in the morning to see if he can put some guards or seals to keep people from breaking in here. Sasuke plopped himself down. He was getting far too tired from the constant attempts of girls trying to break in their house. Yeah, you said it. At least if they were here to hurt you, we could fight back. But they're just stupid fangirls and harming them. It wouldn't be good, Sasuke said. You would end up in jail for doing something like that. Naruto gave him an odd look. You were put into jail for defending yourself? Yeah. This is the brown hair girl that kept on ogling me. She started to get a bit too handsy. So I kind of... well, she was just getting too much. So you did what, said Naruto? Well, I pushed her off a cliff. Wait, you killed her? And you got a few days in jail, said Naruto. If that was me, I would have been executed on the spot. Huh? No, of course I didn't kill her, said Sasuke. I just pushed her off the Hokage's monument. Luckily she landed softly, with a few broken bones. Before they could turn on TV, someone pushed the door open and entered the room. As both Naruto and Sasuke froze. My. As Naruto heard that voice. Tricking those idiotic girls are rather smooth of you too. Ah, I see. You made Genin, and you didn't come and tell poor little old me. As Naruto and Sasuke turned toward the psychotic woman, Uncle. Holy shit. Both got up and ran like hell. A couple of hours later, they got home and replaced the door. The fangirls had saw them leaving, and they chased after them. So Naruto ran towards the forest of death. Unfortunately though, that was Uncle's home. And they almost died when they ended up in a giant nest of spiders. They had to literally fight for their life. They went a bit too far in the forest of death. Luckily though, they came back with a few scratches, but they almost died. As Naruto noticed something off with Sasuke's eyes. Hey, your eyes are different, he said. Sasuke rushed as he looked at the bathroom mirror and found A pair of one-totem Sharingan looking back at him. As he looked at his eyes with awe and shock. And he smirked to himself finally. They were awakened. He turned towards Naruto and saw something confusing. While he knew that Naruto was half Uchiha and half Hyuga, he didn't expect to see his eyes like that. "What's up with your eyes?" Sasuke asked. As Naruto believed that he activated his as well. Maybe it was almost being killed by those spiders. Or maybe it was a fangirl hunt. Or maybe it was Uncle. Either one. But he read about the Byakugan and the Sharingan as well. To be honest, he hoped it was a Sharingan because it seemed a bit more useful than the Byakugan. But it did have some very positive upsides to it. But he was confused because he had total vision. And he didn't have a blind spot like the scroll said. As he stepped into the mirror, Naruto was confused. His pupils were no longer of violet color. But he had a crescent moon-shaped iris in both of his sockets, which were gold. And the white of his eyes became dark. Not pitch black, but they were dark. As Naruto wondered what the hell was those. He cut the connection as his eyes returned back to normal. Naruto was about to head upstairs. "So, have any clues?" Sasuke said. "I'm not sure. It could be a new bloodline or a one-time deal. I'll likely have to talk with Hachibi-sama tomorrow morning. He will most likely know," said Naruto. As Naruto dropped on his bed, he was finally tired to sleep nowadays. Because of his dreams. Beforehand, his caretaker used to put him asleep with a genjutsu to make him have good dreams. But now he dreamt, but his dreams were not good at all. These were nightmares that struck him to the core, that kept him from sleeping. The dreams consist of a battle, with blood and body parts and people all over. He could make out in the distance that the dream was near Konoha. It seems more like a memory. A memory, but not of his. A memory of his tenant, the Hachibi. There was a massive snake. And also, the last thing he saw was the fort arriving on a toad known as Gamabunta. Naruto sighed, thinking about his dream was getting nowhere. He looked over towards the scroll. It was finally time. As he unraveled it, as he started to read, "My son, if you're reading this, it means I didn't make it through this nightmare. No doubt that Fukaku and Hayashi are taking care of you, so I don't have to worry about your well-being. I hope. While I'm all for what the fort has to do, I still wish it was someone else to be used. He hopes that the village will treat you as a savior. So do I, but some part of me can't help but think the worst. Hopefully it's just my maternal instincts, but it can be never clear to say. Well, seeing that this is the only thing I have left for you, let me leave you with a bit of your father and myself. Your father was a full-hearted, happy-go-lucky knucklehead Uchiha. His name was Obito Uchiha. It was strange how him and I became a couple. When I became Jonin, I went out drinking. At the end of the night, I wasn't in the best condition. And these few punks, and I was unable to defend myself that much. They came across me, but your father arrived and threw himself right into the midst of everything to defend me. I was surprised. Because he saw my eyes, knowing which kind I was from, but he did not care. While I was drunk, I could tell that he was a kind person. But he was a few years younger than I was. But in my drunken stupor, I was being rather generous, smiling and flirting with him on the way. When we got back to the clan compound, Hayashi was upset that I got so careless, but he was happy that the boy was there to help me. As he left, I called out my name and some words I'd rather not say, and I learned his name that day. Once morning came and I was stable, I went out to search for him, to properly thank him. I ended up finding a training ground. He did not look that well, apparently was sparring against his genius teammate Kakashi Hatake, and he got his ass handed to him for the 58th time. Why he kept track for when his ass was handed to him by one person, I would never know. I offered to help him. He recognized me from the night before. I was still surprised that despite the clan I was from, he was being so nice. I offered to take him to lunch, and he accepted. Well, some time passed after that. It first started out as we became friends. Then as time progressed, we became more than friends. At first the clans were against this, me being from the Hyuga and him being from the Uchiha clan. When my father found out, I knew that he was going to be furious, but to my surprise, Hayashi, my cousin, he stepped in and he proposed an idea to unite the clans. I wanted it to happen, and from the amount of time I got to spend with Obito. He wanted it too, while it came to his team as a shock that he and I was a couple, seeing that he always courted the girl on his team known as Ren. But they were happy that he finally found love in his life. I was happy as well. A few months after I met his team, he was called off to a mission that would probably end the war. I wasn't able to see them off because I was at the hospital at the time, wondering why I was so grumpy and sick in the morning. At the end of the examination I learned I was pregnant with you. I was overjoyed, and I would have told Obito this, but he had already left, so I waited for him to come back. But a few weeks later, his team returned. Apparently he died, and selfless as he was, he gave his eye to his teammate to replace his destroyed one. I was saddened by his loss, and I closed myself off to the world completely. I just lost him like that, without him ever finding out. The only one that could help me through the darkness was Obito Sensei Minato, because he had just lost his loved one and adopted her younger brother as his son in memory of her. I don't know why, but my heart called out for him, as he understood the same pain I felt, and looking out for the kid that he adopted. It gave me some experience what I would have to expect with you. But this damn snake had to attack right now, right after I just given birth to you and introduced you to the world. This is not how I wanted this to be. I have no choice. The world works in mysterious ways. Now it seems like all of the medics are being diverted to the battlefield, leaving me with the nurses here that have no clue to stop my bleeding. They try to stitch me back up, but it's not working, and I know that I'm dying. So with the last of my strength, I want to write this so you know of your mother and father a little more. I just want to let you know that I was not killed by that damn snake. I have to stop now, baby, but don't worry. My last minutes would be spent watching over you before you're taken. For this ritual, love, Uchiha Hyuga, Mai. Tears started to slip from Naruto's eyes. Most of the time nothing could get him to shed a tear, but this hit him deep. But even though she was dying, she was in high spirits. He sighed sadly knowing that neither the fort or his mother's wishes were held out. But the both of them believe in the better side of the village. Feeling slightly better, he placed the scroll away. As the door was pushed open as Sasuke stepped in, he loved to make an entrance, he did. As he gave Naruto a box bento. It's a sushi place on the stand outside, so you better eat it before I do. I would rather you not go to the Haiga complex for a month, because of not eating again, Sasuke said, as his tone seemed to be worrying at the end. In reality, he didn't like to be known as the last Uchiha within the village, but that was not only the case there, as Naruto's past was something that should be stayed a secret. In reality, the Uchiha massacre wasn't the most traumatizing thing that happened to Naruto. While he was rarely beaten because of the Anvo's quick responded time, it didn't keep the parents from keeping their children away from him, just to hurt him. An assassination attempt, and not to mention there was one event that Naruto would never talk about, no matter how it was pressed. He was hoping that that scroll that Naruto had nothing that would send him over the edge to do something like suicide. Naruto has been through so much. The reason why he ended up in a psychiatric ward when he was younger. Sasuke as well did not like it, but he tried the same thing. The massacre had been fresh in his mind, and he just couldn't live with himself. The both of them were just getting worse. The doctors had run out of options, but it was then that the both of them had met. The both of them were placed in the same household, hoping that it would keep the both of them sane. Nah, it's nothing to worry about, said Naruto. While it's somewhat depressing, the way my mother wrote it made me feel a lot better. Sasuke nodded. Try to get some sleep. I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night because of some explosion, knowing that he was not going to get any sleep. Naruto walked over towards his work desk. Naruto's eyes snapped open as the dream came once again, with that damn snake and the toad. He still could not make out exactly what kind of snake it was, but why did he saw himself as a snake? He could see the snake, yet he was a snake in the dream. It wasn't a dream, it was a memories from the Hachibi, but why? He could not understand. But he didn't even remember going to sleep. Just what the hell was going on? As Naruto realized the scroll in front of him was open up, he rolled it up. This was not the scroll that was left to him by his mother. This was a different scroll that he had not shown anyone. He had found it a long time ago, while playing hide and seek with Sasuke and Itachi. when he was around 6 years old. He locked it up and sealed it away. He noticed that it was 6 in the morning, so he got ready, as he knew that Hayashi woke up these times. As he arrived downstairs, he saw Sasuke going over the same scroll that he tried yesterday. The fire jutsu that he was trying to learn was hard. Sasuke saw him and shrugged. I order a breakfast pizza, so it should be here in a few minutes. You can head out afterwards. As Naruto pulled out his CD player and started to play. After about 2 songs, it arrived. He got something to eat before he left. There was not much people out at this time. Just a few people opening their shops. This was his favorite time to be out here, when no one was here to give him a hard time or say anything to him. A small part of him always wished it was always morning, as the village was always peaceful then. As he arrived to see a single branch member, Haruta, he believed. Morning, Haruta-san, he said. Is Hayashi-san awake? He is, Naruto-kan. I believe Hayashi-sama is in his study right now. Thank you. I would stay and chat for a little while, but I have some business to attend to, he said. She nodded, as he made his way. As he knocked lightly and waited, he then heard the voice. Come in. As Naruto slid the door open and stepped in, before he closed the door. Hayashi was a bit surprised to see that it was Naruto, but then again, the boy didn't have a set sleeping program, so it was hard to tell when he was awake or not. He motioned for Naruto to sit down, as he was working on something rather secretive as he rolled it up. So what brings you here this early in the morning, I might add, he said. Knowing that Hayashi did have a small sense of humor that was rarely seen by others, he knew the man was playing with him, so he couldn't help but smile for a second. But he thought of the reason why he came though. He pushed the same amount of chocolate to his eyes, like last night. The golden crescent moon. Hayashi looked shocked. The eyes you just saw, said Naruto as he deactivated them, are the reason why I'm here today. Hayashi too believed that Naruto would have either or the other Dojutsu, but there was a small possibility that he gained neither. But this was a surprise. I see. Either child between the union has brought forward a Sharingan or Byakugan. Those who had the genetics to have a mix between both has died weeks after their birth. As Naruto realized that he had a new bloodline on his hand, with the both bloodline mixing together. But it troubled him that everyone that had the same mix, they die at a young age. Hayashi-sama, said Naruto as he saw. I know you know what happened to the children that would have had these eyes. Now please explain what is going on, or I will go and look up their records, said Naruto. Hayashi cursed mentally for teaching Naruto how to read people, as good as he did at most times. Hell, the only one that could outread people besides him was Neji, and that was because he taught them how to do it. He sighed as he reached into his desk and pulled a few folders, as he placed each and every one of them in front of Naruto, who started to go through them. As I said, the reason for their deaths is unknown, but the cause is not. They were killed when their chakra cords start to form. But the weird thing is they all died the same way, by a brain aneurysm. When the chakra cords start to form in the head, more specifically, the eyes. As Naruto's gaze narrowed, all those who possess these eyes died from the same thing, aneurysm. But the main question is why? Why did it not happen to him? He had a deep suspicion to why it was, but he wasn't about to call it the snake's work yet. Now, Hayashi said, as custom to a new developed bloodline, I need you to write down everything I can do once you believe that it reaches limits on what it can do, and submit it to the Hokage. Naruto knew that it was a basic thing to do when a new clan was coming together. I'll inform him that you will give it to him once you are finished, said Hayashi. Thank you, said Naruto as he got to his feet, as he catch Hinata and Neji just as he left. Time skip. Naruto sat in his seat, a CD player blazed in his ears, as he thought about the events so far. Sasuke saw what Naruto was doing regarding his new clan because of his eyes. He didn't like that he would once again be the only Uchiha within Konoha. He knew that it was selfish, but after the mental trauma that he went through, being selfish was a part of his nature. Alright, Iruka said as he walked in the class. Naruto, turn off the CD player. Iruka seemed to be in a rather lazy mood. Alright class, today is your first official step to becoming a genin. As most teachers said to their graduation class, this is a special class. And this one truly is. There is no doubt this class would end up shaping the world because this is the most talented class to graduate from the academy. Now before most of you let this go to your head, that doesn't mean that you're the best out there. Right now there could be a more talented genin than anyone in this room. So keep diligent in your training and don't be too cocky. Now as I call your name for your teams, I want you to know that I was not the one that assigned the teams this year. The Hokage did. So pick your complaint up with him. No one's still aware that the Hokage really took the time to pick their teams. He must truly believe that there was some special ninja in their class. Or a few smarter children knew that the clan heads came to the Hokage and, well, they spoke to him. And he put in a good few favors, that is why he picked the teams this year. As Naruto and the others ignored the names unless it was their friend or family. Team 7. Sakura Haruno, Sasuke Uchiha, Uchiha Hyuga Naruto. Sasuke was pissed off that he was placed in the same team as Sakura. She was one of the worst. But at least Naruto was there. Team 8 is Aberame Shino, Hinata Hyuga, and Kiba Inazaka. Team 9 is Neji Hyuga, Rock Lee and Tenten. Team 10 is Choja Kimichi, Shikamaru Nara and Ino Yamanaka. Hey, that's not fair. Why do I get the lazy bastard and Tubby? While Sakura is in a team with Sasuke-kun and Naruto-kun, she said. As Ino was upset. Iruka rubbed his forehead. What did I say when I just stepped in here, he asked. I didn't pick this team. The Hokage did. But in your case, I knew why he placed you on that team. The Inoshikucho has been a legendary combo for generations now. Now if that is all, I would like to finish, he said. I wanted to be on a team with Hebai-kun, Ino said, looking towards Naruto. I left that nickname. It stands for Sneak. Stop calling me that, said Naruto. Most of your senses will arrive in an hour, so I suggest you get this time. And spend it with your team to know them if you don't know them already. One of the windows broke as Anko arrived in the room. She saw her favorite little playthings, Naruto and Sasuke, as the both of them trembled, but she was on duty now. It was then that a green and orange blur came in the room. As Might Guy stepped forward and grinned, his teeth almost blinding Kiba. Hello my youthful students, my name is Bam. Uncle kicked him right in the shin. Uncle, what was that for, he said. For stealing my thunder and introduction, she said. Now Team 8, please come with me. If not, I'll take Uchiha-san and Hebai-kun, she said, looking towards Sasuke and Naruto. Naruto's eyes started to twitch at being called that name. As Team 8 went with the psychotic Jonin, Guy fixed his orange leg warmers. Alright Team 9, he said. Come with me. Lee, liking the man, already got to his feet and rushed forward. Hey, Sasuke. I kind of need your help, said Naruto, as Sasuke saw what Naruto was doing. Meanwhile, in the Hokage's tower, as Kakashi with the other Jonins were watching through Sardoba Crystal Ball, as Guy and Anko rushed off, the moment they heard, when Kakashi saw, why am I not in charge of the Uchiha? While I don't care for the fangirl or the vessel, I can train him how to use the Sharingan, said Kakashi. As Hiruzen sighed at that, Kakashi still felt guilty for Obito's death. But he was still in the dark that Naruto was Obito's child. He never paid attention to Mai. That was originally planned till this morning, you see. Hayashi came to me while I was checking over the teams. He informed that Naruto activated a bloodline that was neither the Byakugan or the Sharingan, but what probably is a mix of the two. Seeing this, I had to adjust the teams. The sensei, someone that can break down and analyze how the Dojutsu works, along with teaching Sasuke how to use the Sharingan as well. That is why I gave your old Envoy unit captain the job. And to top it off, Riki-kun has wanted a genuine team for years now, even though he's still young. As that was said, a young teen made his presence known. As he read over the folder, he was still wearing a creamy white cloak reverse Envoy gear. As he was called in, he has wavy blue hair, but his eyes were the first thing noticed by anyone who crossed his path. His pupil was in the shape of a 4-point shuriken that stretched over the eyelid to eyelid, with a golden pupil in the center. Hokage-sama, while I appreciate the generous offer, I do believe that Kakashi is the best sensei for this team, though I do voice my concerns with him being on the same team as the vessel. While Kakashi was grateful for the envoy that he chose to replace him after he retired a second time, seeing that he came back after the Uchiha massacre, seeing that he was better for the team placement to be their sensei, he didn't like what he was leading up to. That was only a one-time thing, and he swore never to do it again because he was not in the right mind when he did it. He would have said something to let him know that he wouldn't do that again, but the Hokage beat him to it, which is exactly the reason why I'm asking you to be their Jonin sensei. While it was a one-time thing, I'd rather it not happen again, and given that you watch over the boy for most of the last 3 years, that give you the best footing on the team. Kakashi was getting more angry by the second. It seems the Hokage didn't know what happened that night, but he did nothing about it. Not only that, but Rikimaru seemed to understand what the Hokage wanted him to have the team. Surely you must be joking, Hokage-sama. While I do admit I was wrong that night, I don't believe that the two are on the same level as Sasuke. If he is trained properly, he could become a great asset to the village. He heard chuckling as it was coming from Rikimaru. As he turned and looked towards him, Kakashi-senpai, you don't know that Sasuke is not equal, if weaker than Naruto. He was confused, as Kakashi didn't understand. Sasuke was Rookie of the Year. Oh come on, senpai. I have watched over the boy for the past couple of years. I know both boys' skills better than what the academy can show, and they are both even. The only reason why Sasuke got the top spot was because he's better at book smarts than both Naruto or Neji. And if you compare scores in your tests, Sasuke only beat Naruto by 1 point in the taijutsu, and Naruto did not perform any extra jutsu even though he has plenty. That would give him the extra credit. As for the girl, I don't know what she can do, but from these reports she would make a damn good medic. If Tsunade was here, I would ask her to train her, but she's not. At the end, Kakashi was further convinced how he can handle the team now, and it was both Mai's and Minato wishes that if Rikimaru was a Jonin by the time Naruto graduates, he will be sensei. If Obito was still here, I would say that he want the same for his son. Kakashi's eyes widened in shock as he looked towards Hokage to see if the man was joking or not, but the man was definitely not joking. Kakashi shunned Shin out of the room as the event of what he did all those years ago came back to haunt him. That boy was Obito's son? Shaking his head at the now gone Cyclops, Sarutobi pulled out a few papers. Now, if you will sign these release papers, you can take the team. And also, as the Envoy captain, your recommendation for the next captain for the unit is needed. Rikimaru signed as he already thought about who he was gonna put up for the next captain. Nico-san will be the best choice. She's been in the unit longer than I have, and her skills are still improving on a daily basis. If anyone, she should become the next unit captain. Harrison nodded. Alright then. You can keep your mask and equipment if you like. As Yujiro walked over, Yujiro, seeing that your former captain has deemed you fit and I concur, I name you captain of unit 1BS. As she bowed her head gratefully, as she turned towards Rikimaru and gave him a smile, Hayate, who was in the room, looked over with a small glare, because he liked Yujiro a lot. Asuma walked over and placed a hand on Rikimaru's shoulder. Alright kid, what did Kakashi do? Because I feel like I'm out of the loop here. Time skip. Naruto was getting annoyed. While it took a lot to annoy him, being trapped in a room with one of Sasuke fangirls was enough to do so. To make things worse, his CD player needed batteries, so he couldn't listen to his music. But they were not the only ones though, as Ino was arguing with Sakura. He lost it. Ino, would you please go over there with your team? I'm not in the mood right now. Sakura, sit down and stop asking Sasuke a date every 2 minutes. He doesn't want to go out with you. Needless to say, Sakura went quiet. Naruto might joke and fun around, but he was someone that you didn't want to anger. But Ino, she was not going to give up so easily. She sat on his decks and crossed her legs. Nope, you'll have to make me leave, but I'll be quiet if that is what you want. He took a deep breath, knowing that requiring to make her leave would be putting a bit of effort, so he just released that breath. And also, he didn't want to deal with her father in the near future. Not after what happened last time when she lured both him and Sasuke to her room. As he shivered at that memory. Fine, said Naruto. Just don't try anything. As she was grinning happily. Just then the door opened to reveal two people. One with a man with a beard and the other one, the man with the blue hair, wearing Envoy gear. As the man with the beard was crying, Why? Why did you destroy my cigarettes? I said I was sorry. Wasn't that good enough? No. I told you I'm mildly allergic to the smoke and yet you still smoke around me. You deserve that for not listening to me, the teen said with the blue hair, without any remorse in his voice whatsoever. The Genins were surprised. They never expected two elite shinobis to act like this. It was alarming and funny as well. The man with the beard turned as he was completely saddened. Team 10, please come with me, he said. The man was genuinely sad over losing his cigarettes, and the teen with the blue hair did not care one bit. Ino laughed as she fell onto Naruto's lap, as she rolled around on purpose. Oh my god, that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. A grown man crying for crushed cigarettes, no less. That's hilarious. Asuma could only grumble about children with no respect as Choji pulled her off Naruto's lap, dragging her along. Rikimaru already knew who his team was, but he expected the girl to be already over Sasuke, but she was not. So that meant there was hope for her. Well, I guess you guys are Team 7 because there's only one person in the class, with pink hair. As Naruto noticed something up with the guy's eyes. Beforehand they were a dark brown, but now they changed like they were a Dojutsu. Something was wrong though. There was only 10 Dojutsu known in the entire planet. And if you're counting Naruto's new one that made 11, so they were wondering what the hell was that. Well, I see you explain my eyes, don't worry. I'll explain about them later. But first I'll take you all out to eat so we can get to know each other. How about ramen, he said. Naruto's eyes widened. That was his favorite place, but not just for the food. As he jumped up and rushed to the joint inside. But guys, be in subscribe right here, and yeah guys. If you enjoy seeing 1C Part 2, go ahead and comment down below and tell me 1C Part 2 and I'll be posting that as soon as possible for you guys to enjoy. Remember to go and check out What If Naruto Was a Genius Experimenter guys over on Anime King 3 and enjoy that guys. And also over Anime King I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Awaken His True Potential, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy as well guys. And yeah, without further ado, what do you say we just leap out of here? See you guys soon, peace.